Get in the fucking van. Sick. Okay. Everything is going. Have you ever recorded a podcast before?
No, never in my life.
Have you recorded a YouTube video before?
Never in my life.
Okay, well, I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, I feel like I don't
Have you seen any of them, or?
I watched one this morning.
Okay.
I've watched clips of them in the past.
Okay.
I watched the one with Jeff this morning.
Okay.
Because I was like, I need to prepare myself.
Okay. Well, there's no need to prepare yourself. It's totally fine. But I guess in the beginning of every podcast, I always say that the point of this is not to talk about technique or, how to get better at art or how to get jobs or anything. It's like the why of doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
And when, we talked a little bit before about your past, but, you are from Kansas and you came out here from Kansas and you kind of took a leap of faith to go to this school and live in this new place and, face a bunch of fears and stuff. And like it's kind of about that.
Okay.
It's like, why did that even matter to you enough in the first place to take that leap of faith?
Yeah. I guess, I feel like I can talk more about that than because I don't have like a professional job compared to like most of the people on the podcast, right?
Well, and part of what I want to talk to as well is like, why does somebody having a job make them more interesting or more desirable to talk to rather than just anyone?
That's true.
It's like why do we put any amount of value to that at all?
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess just like life experience though.
Yeah. I'm going to keep checking this camera, by the way, because it shuts off every 20 minutes.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
I normally have my iPad to record this angle. I have my phone trying it out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's like, why, you worked at Lowe's and you had a bunch of like shitty jobs and stuff. And a lot of people would stay at those jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, a lot of people would say no and have said no to being on a podcast. A lot of people wouldn't move out. A lot of people wouldn't do a lot of the things that you've done. And
I like to put myself in a place where I'm like uncomfortable. I've been trying to do that a lot, at least in the past month. So I was like, I guess I'll go on a podcast because I'm very uncomfortable with the idea of being on a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, like staying at Lowe's. Yeah, when I worked there, it's mostly like other 20-year-olds, and you can tell a lot of them are just like, oh, this is my life now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely have like fallen into that because it's like you go there every day for like 6 or 8 hour shifts. It's like you kind of shut off your brain when you go on there and you're like, okay, this is my job. Yeah. I'm working.
Right.
And you don't really think of anything else. And then by the time I would get home, I'd be so drained of energy that it's like I'm not even really thinking about my future or like changing anything. I'm just like, I'll go to Lowe's tomorrow.
Right. And you do that for 40 years and you wake up and you're
you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, what do I do with my life?
Yeah, at least for me, that usually lasts for like 3 months where I'm like, I'm fine working here. And then I get so like unsettled. I'm like, I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think, I haven't held any of those jobs longer than a year.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I've traveled a lot over the past few years, and I've met thousands of people, and I've seen how common that personality, you could be working at Wizards of the Coast or Blizzard or Riot or any of the big companies and feel exactly that same way. You could have the dream job in a lot of ways and still be less brave than willingness to take the leap.
I've been running into that a lot the past month with like people. I don't know, I go to Watts, people are like, what do you want to do for your job? Right. I'm like, I don't really want to work at Magic the Gathering. Like, I guess I could. I just don't really care. I don't want to like commit to something and then it's just like horrible.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a job, right? Yeah. Like eventually I have to choose something.
Yeah. Well, I think at some point it does get horrible, It does get unpleasant. And I guess the thing I'm talking about is like, whether anyone that's listening to this is a student that's just like, they're at their parents' house and they want to like figure out where to go and what to do about their feeling like a loser. Or if they're at a studio, it's like, it's like brave to leave a comfy position and move towards what you believe your actual dreams are, I mean, when I look at you, it's like I see somebody who is like figuring it out as they go. It's like, you don't want to work at a studio necessarily, but that like art is something that you really care about.
Yeah.
And, I guess traveling also fits into that somehow,
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I worked for Proco for like 1 month. And then I was like, oh no. That literally lasted like 1 month. I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
So
right.
I feel like I'm slowly like trying stuff and like crossing it off the list.
Yeah.
But it's just really frustrating sometimes because it's like, okay, I'm doing stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't like this, but I still haven't found anything that I'm like, oh, I want to go do this.
Yeah.
It's just constantly like, nope,
right.
I don't really want to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm starting to believe is that's like the state of being a person in general, is that there's never a state at which you're finished. And that anxiety, like you never get to a point, which might be horribly anxiety and existentially scary, but like you never get to a point where you're like, this is what I'm going to be doing every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I talked to Jeff a little bit about this, but like, if you're a painter or whatever, your identity gets so caught up in the idea of being a painter that you stop making art. You just start doing like the exercises, or you start like just getting in a routine to the point where you're not taking any risks, essentially, because you're so tied to the identity of the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah. I'm so like wishy-washy with even just like in art. I don't know if I want to do digital art, traditional art. I don't know if I want to do like concept art. Like there's so many paths just within art that shut off.
That was Carter's fault. Give me 1 second, everybody. Okay, it's going again.
All right.
Sick.
I forgot.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. Oh. Yeah, like I know like a few years ago I was going through a pretty bad burnout. I was like, would I still do art if like no one on this planet existed and like no one could give me validation for it? I was like, yeah, I probably would. If I was like,
well, I for sure wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, and Morgan Weissling said he wouldn't either.
I think it's like, why not? Then why are you even doing it then? Okay,
so the point of it is art is fundamentally communication with, like art is a communication device, I think.
Okay.
And if you're not communicating, it's like writing or singing or acting or whatever, And if you're not communicating with anybody, then it loses its purpose almost.
Communicating with yourself.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's like, at what point does, like keeping a journal or whatever else become...
Yeah, I mean, like, in this theoretical world, I'd probably want to kill myself if no one else existed. But, like, if we're just talking about art, I was like, yeah, I mean, like, if someone put me in solitary confinement, and I had, like, nothing to do, I'd probably last 30 minutes, and I'd be like, oh, I want to go draw. Yeah. Which is, like, I wish I could just have that feeling every day, because I feel like, I don't know if it's just, like, outside stimulus, but I haven't felt like I've wanted to draw in like a long time. Yeah. But like I know that I want to do it. Right. I want to get good at it. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to like find a way to like draw, but also be like authentic and not just like I need a job. Right. Like I need to go work, so I'm going to do art.
Well, and I think part of the tragic thing is people think that once I get pressure external, like I have to pay rent and I have to buy food with the money I make from my art, then it becomes an entirely external way of motivating yourself. Like if I don't draw, then I die. Essentially.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Which is horrible.
That sounds horrible because I feel like then I would just hate it because it's just gonna feel like I'm working at Lowe's. Yeah. Like I need to go draw and it's painful.
Well, I think in its purest form, art is this really beautiful thing. It's like you're creating something out of nothing that is like it's the most true to you than anything else really can be. It's like when you're making a movie, you have to rely on like the actual camera people and the editors and costume people and all this kind of stuff, and inevitably it just becomes an amalgamation of a bunch of different people's voices, which is totally okay. But I think art is like anyone in the world can draw, and there's so little barriers to entry that it's like you can draw a fucking picture of anime titties on a horse. And it's
fuck, go for it, man.
Yeah, you can't do that with a $300 million movie.
Yeah, like it's production art is very much like you're a cog in the machine. Yeah. I just like, I don't know, I feel like art's a very personal thing. Yeah. And then if I'm just doing like production art, I don't feel like that's not
it's not serving your like vision for yourself.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't even know what my vision for myself is. It just doesn't feel right. You know?
I think a big part of this stuff is like I know I can do better than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And if I knew this is exactly where I was going to end up, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. You know, kind of comfortable and stuff. But like the potential of what my life can be is almost the thing that drives me forward. You know.
Yeah.
Like if I was suddenly at that endpoint, it's like, okay, that's fucking dumb. You know?
Yeah.
It's what,
I'm here, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I have X amount of followers or X amount of money and stuff.
Yeah. But do you enjoy it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost pointless. You know. And I don't know. I think that like. It's part of my problem with academic art, like just purely being an academic artist. I think I admire it and I really respect it, but it's almost like the studies don't necessarily lead anywhere that's like, you know, at least for me, it's like, oh, I finished. I can have like a 1-to-1 recording of a figure draw of a model in front of me.
Perfectly rendered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's like the end game. At least for me, I came to Watts because I was like, I don't really know. I don't have like a set. I know I want to do art, but I don't know what kind of art. So at least I'll be doing something that actively helps me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like, oh, get your skills better.
Yeah.
Like I'm here, I'm getting better.
Well, but it's a stepping stone to something else. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I want to talk about is everyone has that like there is a next step, and like, but you have to keep taking almost arbitrary steps to get there. You know, it's like you have no idea what it is, and the only way to figure it out it's like it might just be to do 20-minute lands for a year, and then you figure out, oh, I want to be a dancer. You know? Oh
fuck it! I hope something like that happens to me, because I've just been like vaguely going through the motions, like oh, I'm in drawing class. Yeah. Hopefully something is like, oh, I want to do that as a career. Right. Well, I think my thing is I don't want a job.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a natural state of human being to like want a job.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want a job.
Why? Yeah. Why would you want? What's my dream job? My dream job is sitting on my ass.
Yeah.
Like
doing whatever, like being in Montana or being in Italy, or you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have goals. Not necessarily goals. I have stuff I want to do. Like I want to go live in a foreign country. Like I want to go hike the Pacific Crest Trail.
Yeah.
Like I know I want to do those things. But when it comes to art, I'm just like,
yeah.
I know I want to draw, but that's
well. I talked like Morgan was talking about this stuff where if he didn't have like he said art's stupid. Like in his own words, he's like art's stupid. It's like I'm just like, you know, it's oil mineral on fucking linen canvas. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But it's the beauty of like having something to do and having something to strive for. Like it's the process. You know, it's corny, but it's journey before destination type stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's the act of making art itself, not the end product.
Well, and striving for something greater than what you are. You know? And it's like, it's almost better to strive and fail than to, you know, than to like not try at all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that like the way I'm looking at my life right now, it's like, I don't, like if I didn't have a job, if I didn't work at Proco, I wouldn't have a job. You know? I would be, I think I'd be homeless, honestly. Like,
oh, you have a van.
Yeah. Well, if I couldn't afford this van without Proco, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
It's like, I think the way I'm trying to look at all this stuff is, I'm also nervous about recording podcasts, you know? Like, I'm fucking terrified. Like, I was nervous before this. It's like, well, are we going to talk about some dumb shit? Like,
oh, fucking know.
We for sure are. And it's like, trying to be less mean to myself about, like, what the potentials can be, you know?
Yeah.
Like letting the course of, like, you know, the thoughts, I'm going to say something stupid, you know, people are going to judge me, all this stuff. Like, let that run its course and then just go and do it, you know, in spite of all those fears potentially.
Yeah, being indifferent to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to be like that, but then sometimes it's just like, I don't know, you get a lot of outside input, teachers, parents, everything that's like, you need to like figure out what you're doing, like right now, like tell me what you're doing. Yeah. It's like, I don't think I'm ever really gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sort of searching, but I feel like I'll always just be in a constant state of like looking for something.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, maybe that's totally okay. You know, maybe that's like your happy place, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm in the same boat a lot of the time too, where I get a lot of people telling me I shouldn't be living in a van. I shouldn't, you know, like Stan gives me unsolicited advice all the time, and it's hard not to listen to him because he's this like famous artist.
Yeah, he's successful in the sense of our
in our
capitalistic society.
Yeah, right. And it's like, you know, the more I think about this stuff, the more I'm like, no one really knows what they're doing at all. You know.
Yeah.
Like fundamentally, like even the people that we like us personally that we respect to a high level, like Jeff or, you know, cynics or whoever else, everyone is insecure and everyone is anxious and everyone is depressed, you know, and looking for that meaningful thing, you know. And I don't know, it's like I think you know, I've met a lot of my art heroes and just heroes in general, and the more I meet them, the more I'm like, wow, it's like striving for that crazy amount of success is almost completely meaningless, you know.
Yeah. I mean, do they feel like it was detrimental to their like character to get successful, or
they're glad they did something, but they're like, man, I wish I just, you know, spent more time with my kids. I wish I didn't spend so much time painting. I wish I like didn't spend so much time seeking subscribers on YouTube or validation or any of that stuff, you know.
Yeah, because what does it add up to? Yeah, it's just validation from other people.
Well, and I don't know. I think on a cosmic scale, like when you zoom out to a global scale, it's like one Magic the Gathering just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Most people on the planet don't know Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Most people don't have the internet, and it's like, but our micro niche social group treats it like
it's God
it's
level.
God. Yeah, it's like, you know,
it's the end goal for like life on planet Earth
is to do
magic card.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I understand that as like a goal, but you know, I think that sacrificing like the most beautiful things in life, which might be having a meaningful relationship or kids or being able to like travel a lot or whatever, just to, you know,
paint magic cards.
Sorry for a.
Oh, we're not shitting on you. No, it's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah. Like
Magic the Gathering also means like any corporate.
Just corporate art job. Yeah. I think it's a good. I mean, when people have asked me what I'm gonna do, I'm like, oh, I guess magic type stuff is like my goal, just so I have a goal, because I mean, it's really good art. Yeah. I just don't feel any connection. Like, I'm painting for a card company.
Right.
Like, I mean, I guess maybe if you're like really into magic cards and that's just like your base self, like I love playing Magic the Gathering, that's like awesome for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it doesn't hold a lot of personal significance. Yeah.
Well, and I guess that's kind of the thing I want to talk about is like, you know, in ourselves we subconsciously know that there is a goal that we have, you know, just by the nature of us. Like, instead of just killing ourselves, we get up in the morning and we go and do the things. And we go and like go exercise and go on hikes and whatever. And like, we do things that aren't those goals, you know? It's like, I'm not, you know, from one perspective, like you really want to go do the PCT. It's like, what's stopping you from doing that tomorrow, you know?
Money, I guess. Yeah, like $10,000.
It would cost $10,000.
I think for all the gear and stuff. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying right now.
I'm not calling you out specifically.
I know.
It's like everyone has like a, you know. Like a thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the thing stopping us from going and doing the thing that's most meaningful to us? You know.
I don't know. I guess some of it pressure from society. To like go be a productive member, you know, like contribute something to the world. But I feel like most people, they get trapped in just like jobs. They get trapped. It's like, oh, I have stability. Like, this is my life now.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I understand. I'm also caught in this trap a little bit, but they're also told that they're lucky and they shouldn't take it for granted, and that they're, you know, like, they shouldn't give up this opportunity or whatever.
Yeah, like, how dare you quit this?
Yeah,
like, this is...
Right. Like, you know, and it's almost, I don't know, I think that's a paralyzing thought to have, you know. It makes you feel resentful towards the people that said it to you. It makes you feel like what you're doing, it's like you're a bad person because you're not thankful for what you have.
Yeah, you know? It makes you question your own decisions.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that. Even like, I literally worked for 1 month at Proco. I was like 1 month in, I was like,
I don't care, like, you know.
I know, but I was like, this is like such a good opportunity. Like, why am I even thinking of quitting? Yeah. But that was like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing even matters anyways. Like, I'm out of here.
If it's not I think that's part of all the problem with all this stuff is that people get into these positions and they're like, oh, I should be so thankful for all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they spend 10 years depressed because
they're trapped.
Yeah. You know?
I will say though, I have the privilege of being able to like pick and choose what I'm doing. Like, I have a safety net to fall back onto. Like, I'm not worried if I quit my job that my life is gonna like fall to shambles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still in I'm 21. I'm still in an area where I can like do risky stuff and not really have a horrible outcome befall me. So
I don't know, I think that argument is dangerous because I think actually most people in our society have that same safety net. And obviously there are people that are outliers that don't. But like at least the people that we know, like a lot of them have parents to fall back on. A lot of them, you know, can figure something out.
Yeah.
You know? And like in our culture, you're not going to starve to death. Like, you can go and get a packet of beans and vegetables for like $1.50 at the supermarket.
I don't know. I feel like it's a perspective that's so different from my own that I can't even really comment on it.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm like in a place of privilege. I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
I'm not like providing for other people. So I can like go fuck off and like, oh, I'm going to Italy.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not tied to anything.
Yeah.
But like, you have kids, you have like literally any responsibilities. It's a lot harder to take that kind of risk.
Yeah.
I agree that you should still try and do it if you have something you really want to do, but there's nuance, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's an incredibly complicated, it's case by case basis.
Yeah.
But I think in spite of somebody who does, like, they are trapped by all those things that you just said, there are still tiny risks that they can take in their own lives that could be very meaningful for who they are, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I talked to Jeff about this in the podcast with him, but it's like, you know, maybe it's like more meaningful in the eyes of God, and whatever way that means. Like, I don't know what I mean when I say God, but it's more meaningful to, like, for somebody who spent the past like 3 months cooped up in their room playing video games to go on a walk around their block than for, you know, somebody like you to go and even like take a 30-mile hike or something.
Yeah.
It might be braver for that person.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
all about perspective, definitely.
And I don't know, it's strange interacting with so many different types of people because I see that bravery, you know, like I meet multimillionaires who aren't brave and they are super depressed, and people that are homeless that are like, you know, doing like amazing stuff.
Yeah, happy with their life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're all subconsciously at least like searching for a place of like happiness or just like satisfaction with our lives. Yeah. But it's so like vague and like unattainable that you kind of just have to go do stuff. Or like, I feel like it's almost more of like not even searching for stuff to do, but like you try stuff and then you're not afraid to like say you don't want that, like quit. At least for me, it's because I don't have like a solid, like, I don't have anything solid that I'm like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, besides like, oh, I want to go hike the PCT, you know, like little goals. Yeah. It's more just like, I'm going and trying stuff, and usually I'm massively uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
like scared.
Right.
And then if it doesn't feel right, I try not to be afraid to like quit.
Yeah. Well, and I think generally, I don't know, I've talked to a lot of people about this, but it's like the more likely you are to go and be successful, I think it's dependent on how what your relationship with failure is, you know? Because you're like, everyone's going to go out and try stuff and they're going to for sure fuck something up.
Yeah.
And it's how they respond to that is the thing that determines, like, you know, if they're going to be successful at something eventually. You know?
Yeah.
And success, I don't mean financial success, just, you know, personal satisfaction.
Success. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of been scary for me talking to everybody about this, like the oneness of how common these problems are. Like, there's somebody in China right now that's exactly like you, that's having the same exact existential crisis of like, I'm in school, but I don't want to, I don't want to be here, or like I need to make money and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's.
But I guess it's like that, like the commonality of that problem is like, it's fucking scary. I don't know. It's weird. Like,
yeah, everyone has their own, like there's so many people and everyone is only really mostly thinking about themselves, right?
Yeah.
Like in your head, most like 80% of the time you're just thinking about your own problems.
Yeah.
And it's like all of these people on the beach, they all have their own like personal success they're striving for.
Yeah. Well, and it's all tiny universes,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like the things that you care about that are most meaningful to you just don't matter to any of these people.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
like,
at all.
Norman Rockwell might not, no one might even know who that is.
Yeah.
Like on average, and I think we all get caught up in the like meaningfulness of our lives and get stuck on like our thing being the most meaningful and the most important.
Of course. I mean, I feel like humans are just selfish beings as is. I don't think that's a bad thing either.
No,
I mean, like we all just think about ourselves.
Hello.
Getting over here.
But I think it's I don't know, philosophically I think it's kind of a deep question of like, that like we can both agree that there's inbuilt insecurity into everybody that we know.
Yeah.
This inbuilt fear and like potential to do something horrible, And in spite of that, like we can go about our lives and be optimistic about anything,
Yeah.
I think that's a really strange thing. Like, I think the default logically would be that everyone's addicted to heroin and trying to stab each other, right? And okay, no. Like we're both gonna die, right?
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, like that's a fact, right? We can't.
So let's go murder some people.
No. But it's like we're speeding towards a cliff, right?
Okay.
So it's like existentially, it's like it's really easy to become nihilistic.
Yeah, what's holding us together?
Yeah. And it's like what is it? And it's something.
The consequences of my actions for fucking doing heroin and murdering people.
But it's like, if nothing truly mattered, then why does anyone go about doing anything? It's like, why make art? Why spend time trying to make something beautiful and do it well?
Yeah.
It's like I know like you're gonna make images after this conversation and you're gonna try and strive to make beautiful things, and it's like,
what else is there to do? If nothing matters, then why don't you do whatever you feel like?
Yeah.
I feel like I get down like existential rabbit holes, but I like to take it in like a positive thing. Like if it doesn't matter, then why should I even be afraid to go film a podcast?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, we're on a floating rock hurtling through space. Like, I can handle talking on a podcast for like an hour. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I like, I'm trying to figure out like, on a more existential level, like where does the evil in somebody's life come from? It's like we both have our own capacities to make mistakes and do fucked up shit. And it's like, how do we go about our lives to minimize the amount of possible suffering around us? Minimize suffering as much as possible.
The suffering of other people, or
just in general. Like,
in general,
yeah. Like our other people and ourselves. And,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured that out. I guess I don't.
Yeah.
I try to act in ways where I'm not hurting other people.
Yeah.
I think I'm also just a massive overthinker, so I'm constantly like, if I do this, is it gonna like, how is it gonna affect other people?
Yeah.
But yeah, minimizing suffering. I don't know. I feel like I feel like such a baby still.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really done much. I've lived in Kansas my whole life, and now I'm like here.
Yeah.
And that's.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It's, when I look at some people, when I go and meet people, I think they're deeper down into hell than other people.
Yeah.
It's like even our local community, you meet people and it's like that person is like not doing so well. And then you meet other people that are like they're living more of an ideal life than what other they're living a better life than you or the other people.
Yeah, just like different mental states.
And I think part of that is strange because they could be in the same exact like physical environment. They could be seeing the same things objectively, but it's almost like that doesn't even matter. They're going about their, like, they'll walk down to the In-N-Out nearby and either see like a place where they can hang out with their friends, get like a meal, or they see a place of like they don't even see it, or they're like, this place fucking sucks.
Yeah, I feel like it goes back to like everyone only cares about themselves for the most part. Like if 80% of what you're thinking is about yourself, it's all like it's all your own personal thoughts that are creating your reality. I mean, obviously some people are dealt harder circumstances, like, but even then, yeah, it's just, I don't know, that goes into like mental illness, right? And sometimes things that are outside of people's control that have an effect on their well-being.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to think about what all these people might be thinking about in their head.
Yeah.
Because guaranteed there's someone down there that's like, I hate my life. Like, I'm on this
100%.
beach on a nice sunny day and I like, this fucking sucks.
I think part of the tragedy of that is it doesn't get much better than this, in terms of like nice weather. It's like, like there's no one trying to shoot you,
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing really.
I fucking hate those Beatles. I hate those Beatles.
But, it's like they're like, people really.
Recording a podcast.
Yeah, do you want to say hi? What up?
What are you recording a podcast for?
So here, I'll make the audio go. So this is called the Sketchy Van Podcast.
Yeah.
I live in a van and I drive around the country.
That's pretty cool.
I talk to people about like life and stuff. And this is Makenna.
Nice to meet you.
The point of this, I guess the point of this is to talk about like the why of doing anything,
Okay.
Like you have a volleyball shirt. Like, why would you come to the beach and play volleyball instead of staying home and like playing Fortnite or something?
I don't know. I guess I just enjoy volleyball,
Yeah.
Actually, so me and my 3 friends right here, we actually, we're indoor volleyball players, but come out to the beach. It's, a little bit different rules, so we're not as good, but we like to practice and, have fun. It's cool that you're driving across the country. I drove to New York and back.
Nice.
Because I go to school in New York.
Oh, sick.
And I'm going to start...
In Manhattan, or...?
No, upstate.
Okay, cool.
I go to school, Vassar.
Okay.
I'm actually doing that. I'm starting the drive again back to school tomorrow.
Nice. Well, sick, man. Oh, that's cool. Well, okay, so part of this, we were just talking about how, everyone on this beach is, living their own lives and how fucking crazy that is.
Yeah.
Existentially, you're going to go on this epic adventure tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, what is everyone else doing down there?
Yeah, it's well, why is it meaningful?
Yeah.
It's
okay.
You do. I don't know. I think it's strange to me that we can go about our lives and find meaning in the things that we do when everyone else around us is living I don't know, cool lives.
Yeah.
It's a
lot of people are doing things differently.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of an.
Have you thought about why you play volleyball, or you're just like, I'm gonna go play volleyball?
I didn't think about it. My dad forced me, and then I hated it. And then he forced me to play for club, which gets even more serious. And I was like, Dad, I like basketball.
No.
And then I started hating basketball, and I was like, this is actually kind of fun.
You don't hate volleyball now?
I love volleyball now.
Oh man,
interesting.
But, yeah. So, I don't know. I thank my dad for that, but at the same time, do I want to do that as a parent?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Did you still want to keep playing volleyball? Or?
I'm playing in college.
Okay. Nice. Did you get a scholarship or something?
So we all play for the same school.
Yeah.
They don't offer scholarships at the Division III level.
Okay.
And Vassar's a pretty good academic school, so they don't offer academic scholarships either.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's financial aid.
Nice. Well, what's your major?
I'm a math major.
Okay. Cool.
Education minor, so I want to be a math teacher.
Oh, sick, man.
Yeah.
What level?
High school.
Nice.
I think that's the perfect age to mold some minds.
In the New York area?
No, I actually want to come back here because I live out here.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right.
I'm Christian, by the way.
Andrew. Well, it was nice meeting you guys.
Yeah,
I think I gotta head out.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Interesting. Volleyball player from New York.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's odd that I guess I repeated this already, but I think it makes sense. But I think it's odd that we're afraid of anything in general. You know, it's like the perspective that we have is almost, I guess, inescapable from like. I could record 100 podcasts and I would still be nervous about recording the next one. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it, it's kind of like how he was about, like, oh, I just came here to play volleyball. Like, I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
You don't really think about why you do the things you do. It's like, well, I enjoy it. Well, he hated it, apparently.
Yeah.
But now he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If I feel like I want to go boogie boarding, I'm going to go boogie boarding.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of being satisfied with your life is just like thinking you want to do something and you go do it.
Yeah.
If you have the option to.
Yeah.
I feel like that brings a lot of fulfillment.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, sometimes you have to do stuff you don't want to do, like get a job to support yourself. But
I've been told by a lot of people that I overthink everything. You know,
me too.
I think that like limits my own ability to go and do things. You know, and I think it's kind of dumb.
I don't know. You seem like a very spontaneous person.
I'm not. I'm really not. No, I think about everything like a lot. Like,
even when you're like, let's go Sequoia, you're
it's like an effort at combating that nature of like.
Okay,
like,
I think you're doing a good job.
Okay, well, thank you.
I mean, like you're going and doing stuff.
I don't know. I'm a very afraid and insecure person fundamentally. I think that, like, I don't know. I think anyone can really come back from anything and improve themselves in any way that they can think. You know, anyone can become better. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go from that. But,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we beat it into the ground.
Yeah.
You just do stuff because you want to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know. I feel like I'm also a big overthinker. Sometimes you just have to like force yourself to do things.
Yeah.
Like, I had a job interview at a casino. I swear to God, I parked in the parking lot. I was like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna throw up in this parking lot before my job interview.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I need to go do it just to do it because I'm scared, and that's usually where you grow the most.
Yeah.
Is when you're like pushing yourself.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. Something that I realized is like I've traveled a lot. I've been all around the country in Europe and stuff. I haven't traveled more than other people, but like. Again, I found that you can go on an adventure without going that far from your.
Definitely.
You know? It's like, you could go and like walk like we could go walk to LA. You know? Yeah. And that's like that's actually more of an adventure potentially than like going and living in Thailand for. Like,
I agree with that. And I feel like a lot of it's about the people you're with too.
Yeah.
Like I guess if I did that, if I walked to LA by myself, that would feel like an adventure.
Yeah.
I don't know, you can have an adventure even like daily, like, oh, we're gonna go boogie boarding after this.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't know. I've made some of my favorite memories in the past like 3 months have been just boogie boarding.
Yeah, like 5 minutes from where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I feel like that was more of like I definitely need friends to be around me to do that though.
Yeah. I don't know, I think, like my nature is to be kind of a depressed sad sack sometimes, and I don't know. I think that like part of I did an experiment last year where I was like, I'm gonna live alone and be in a new city every week for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I like lived in a van much smaller than this, and you know, and I was like, if I'm truly alone, can I be happy and live a meaningful life? And the answer is absolutely not. No, 100%. No, it's super fucking dark.
Like how bad? Like you were spiraling?
A little bit. I mean, when you're like when it's 110 degrees outside and the van is, you know, like you literally can't sleep because it's so hot.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle of nowhere in a city you don't know. It's like it's easy to be like, nothing matters. This is pointless.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think everyone has that impulse to. Like if I was in charge or if I was alone, then I would be happier. You know. It's kind of like I found that that's almost like a common thing that a lot of people have, you know.
I feel like community is like such a big part of just like being alive, though. You kind of like, we're not meant to be solitary creatures. I don't think. Yeah, I think also if I was by myself for multiple months, I would go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably you were like texting people.
I was hanging out with people too and stuff. I know it's recording the podcast and stuff, but
just like no sense of.
It's probably not as bad as what we're saying, but like it's not sustainable. It's not like it's.
I believe that.
It's not like something you can do for, your entire life. I don't think. Like,
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. It's like there is. I think part of all this stuff, part of the challenge is that like there's part of my ego that's like, it's cool to go like travel around the US by myself. It's cool to be like in Asia or Europe or wherever else.
Yeah.
And like that, like, it's cool impulse it actually makes me unable to see like the fun of the local amazing things that I have.
Yeah, because it's not as like grand.
Right. The grandness of like walking the PCT is so amazing, and to be able to talk about it, and so many people would be like, "This is super."
Oh sick. I did this.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Exactly.
It's like a sort of an ego thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I don't think it's. At least for me, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not like the base sense of like what I need to be satisfied in life.
Yeah.
I think it's good to like go do some cool
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna do more cool shit. I think, but it's like I don't think anyone can spend their life entirely doing nothing but cool shit.
No. But the majority of life is what happens in between.
Yeah.
So like, it's good. It's like a good supplemental thing. But like, if you do that and you come back and you're like, I'm fucking depressed. Yeah. Like I hate my job. I don't know. It's kind of like people who are like 9-to-5 engineers. It's like we go on a vacation once a year, and it's like great. But then you come back, it's like, well, the other 11 months you're just like suffering and in pain. Like, I don't know. Like you can't really flip it around. I can't be on vacation for 11 months out of the year, but I also don't want it to be like suffering every day.
Yeah. Well, a question that I ask everybody is like, what would you be doing exactly the same thing you're doing right now if you had $1 billion?
Dude, fuck yeah. Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good sign,
Yeah, I feel fucking great.
Yeah, good.
I'm going boogie boarding like every other day. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm having a great time. This year has been good because it's like I'm going to school. I think if I had a ton of money, I would just go to school all the time. I would just, I'd be doing exactly what I've been doing. But that's kind of funny because like for the past 3 months, I've also been getting on myself because I'm being so lazy and like I'm not thinking about my future. But like I'm having a great fucking time, man. Like I would be doing this.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's. I think anyone that might be stuck in like what to do next, like I think that's generally a good question to. Like if what you're doing would change if you had infinite money and resources, then it's probably time to make a change,
I agree with that, but then I'm thinking, I'm projecting to the end of the year because I need a job.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would be doing this if I had endless money, but it's not a sustainable lifestyle by any means. Like I'm going to be forced into doing something that I probably don't want to do, which everyone is for the most part. Besides massively rich people.
At some point. Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy it while it's happening now.
Yeah.
But I know in the future, it's kind of like taking a job at Lowe's, taking a job at Michael's. I go into it, I'm like, I know this isn't what I want to do. I'm going to have to go like play it like a video game. Like, I'm going to work at Michael's today. Let's do the Michael's simulator and like put stuff on shelf.
Yeah. And
then I go into work, I shut my brain off, and it's like, I don't know, it's like selling your mind for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I don't want to do that, but...
Yeah. I think the other flip side of that is there are people that do exactly what they want to do every day, and they're also deeply depressed, And it always goes back to perspective of like what they want.
Yeah, what they want to do, or like what kind of... Because I feel like if you're doing what you actually want to do, like deep down, then
it feels great.
Yeah, you shouldn't be depressed. What they want to do, like in a sense of this is going to be applauded by other people because I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Or like,
well, no, so a lot of people say like, if I had infinite money, I would, I'd be in Hawaii drinking margaritas on the beach for the rest of my life. And
yeah.
that's like such a shallow thing to. It's like you get tired of that in like a week.
Yeah.
Give and in like a year, you're like an alcoholic,
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually truly what people want to do. Like people need some amount of suffering in their life.
Oh, I agree. Or something to work towards, like you're saying with art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I realized a couple of years ago. I'm like, I want to do art just to like, I want to get better at it.
Yeah.
That's like something I know I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just once you throw in like, oh, you need a job and like all of these things, it's like you lose track of what you actually want to do.
Well, I think part of the danger is that on the flip side, it's like, let's say you have the job and you make enough money to survive, and then you're like, oh, now I have to get all of my meaning out of art, or I have to get all of my meaning out of, like, I don't have any other external things to pull to get meaning out of,
Yeah,
like,
then you're forced in it.
Well, I think, it's almost easier to be forced into a decision than to make that decision yourself,
Definitely.
Like, you having to get a job to afford food is actually like, in a lot of ways, it's like a blessing, It's like, if I don't do this, then like bad stuff will happen to me.
Yeah, forced to make a decision at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the same time, I feel like I wish I could be in this state of like not having to do anything forever.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think that if I just like sat here and people were like cooking for me and like I didn't have to do shit.
Yeah.
I really don't think that I would ever come to a solid like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm gonna go paint a card.
Yeah.
I think I'll always be kind of wishy-washy.
Finalize Makenna would never happen.
What?
Finalize Makenna.
No, it wouldn't.
Makenna.
People are constantly changing, right?
Yeah.
I feel it always comes back to like no one knows what they're doing. I guess try to do what makes you happy, but you're probably gonna have to do stuff that you don't want to do.
Yeah. I feel silly. Well, I feel like I've recorded like 40 podcasts or something. I feel like at a certain point it's because I talk about this stuff a lot. And it's almost like beating a dead horse of how simple it is,
Yeah.
Just like go live your life and like don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's only so many answers you can get.
And like you only have so many cards that you're dealt that you can only like do a certain amount of things,
Yeah.
Like if you're born in Kansas, like you can't. It's unlikely you'll ever be like, I don't know.
Probably become an airplane engineer.
Being a Chinese president.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, like
you can't do that. You can't.
I can if I put my mind to it.
No, you can't.
Well, who the fuck are you? I'm getting out of this van. I'm gonna go become the president of China.
Yeah, you can't.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, dude.
I can do whatever I want.
I guess so. But, I don't know. I think it's like a part of my idea with all this stuff is that you're only almost like allowed or able to do a certain amount of things,
Yeah.
Like based on like what's given to you, it's almost arbitrary,
Oh,
and,
definitely.
And it's like I don't know if I believe in free will. I definitely don't believe in 100% free will. I don't know if I'm on the fence about.
Can you elaborate on that?
So you didn't choose to be born a woman or in Kansas or to the parents that you had with your genetics or any of that kind of stuff. So many things that like you care about are almost completely out of your control.
Yeah.
Like maybe you liking art was like drilled into your brain because when you were 5 years old, your parents said, "Oh, Makenna, good job on that, stick figure thing,"
What if that's other people exercising their free will to impose their thoughts on me?
But why not say that to the homeless guy that also drew a stick figure? It's like maybe it's a maternal paternal thing. Here's this little girl, she's doing this thing. I want to encourage this impulse in her.
Yeah.
Which they didn't choose to have those instincts either.
Yeah, people's brains don't exist in a vacuum. Like obviously you're gonna interact with other people.
Well, I think that like there is a fair like if I didn't believe in absolute, like, some amount of free will, I think I'd go insane, but
yeah,
like, I don't believe in 100% free will at all. Like,
okay. Do you believe you have like a set destiny?
No. Well, sort of. I've one that I can't like I'm a puppet, but I can't see the strings. You know?
Okay. And the strings are being played by God.
I want to believe it's God. You know.
What kind of God?
Like not like the bearded man kind of God.
Okay. Like not Jesus.
It's like the thing that like the fact the force that gives us the ability to find meaning in anything, you know.
Yeah.
Like from the most zoomed out objective level, we're just a bunch of molecules running around the universe at high speeds, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost arbitrary nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but we can look at this table, which is objectively a collection of plastic and metal, and be like, this is a table, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
it's fucking crazy.
Like these wood shavings, it's like it's either wood shavings or it's like replacement grass or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like God is the ability. Like, there's so much more beyond us that we don't even can begin to understand.
Yeah,
that's my idea of God.
Okay.
Like, so God.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I'm not religious either. I feel like I take it as like we are the universe experience in itself, right? Yeah. Like everyone's just made of, like, all of this is made of the same stuff. We just happen to have consciousness somehow.
Yeah.
Not really sure how that works.
Well, the way that I look at it is like I can't even begin to understand it. Like I can't even begin to understand my own brain, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm a collection of synapses and like chemical juice that just like makes Christian me, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what does that even fucking mean?
The Christian brain juice.
Yeah, and it's only existed once as far as I know.
Yeah, there's only one you consciousness, which is like fucking crazy.
It's so fucking weird, and it's like the fact that I exist and that we're even talking at all in one sense is a miracle, you know?
Oh yeah.
And the reason I say I want to believe it's God is that it's like it's so unlikely that any of this stuff happens that like it's either completely arbitrary or not.
Yeah.
Or it means something, you know?
I think everything as a whole is God. Like we're all God. The universe is God and we're all made of the universe, right? Yeah. Like it somehow like split its consciousness into all these separate people to experience itself.
Yeah.
I guess, I feel that way, and then I'm also kind of like a woo-woo, like tarot cards. I buy into that a bit.
I buy into it a little. I mean, I gave you The Alchemist to read.
Yeah, I read that.
You and Andrew, and I really deeply believe in that stuff. Like, there is something that's beyond us that is kind of guiding us in some way, you know? And it's almost like useless to even think about why, because you can't even begin to zoom out even far enough to even like have a big picture.
That's like so incomprehensible. I feel like I agree. I sometimes feel like there's something guiding me, or like you see like signs.
Yeah.
But like in my case, since I believe we're all like interconnected in some way, because we're all just like the same thing. We're all just the universe, right? I feel like the signs are just like I have my single consciousness, but it's still like me talking to myself in a way.
Yeah.
Like guiding myself.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I don't know, I think that from my own experience, when I've lived not paying attention to my impulses, not my impulses, my gut, and what I see is like the omens, my life gets worse.
Oh yeah.
Like significantly worse, you know? And sometimes I even know what the right decision is, and I'm like, I'm delaying it. I don't make that decision. You know? Yep. And I don't know, like, the thing I'm trying to do right now is trying to get closer to whatever my idea of God is. Like, for a long time, I was caught up on the idea of me being like, I'm not that good of a draftsman, you know, objectively, you know. Like, there are people that I know that I'm friends with that are much better at art than I am.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, the quality of what I have to say is limited based on the quality of the images I can make. And that, like, from one perspective, I'm like, oh, I can't say anything because I'm not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is really
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous,
yeah.
You know? And it's like when I started to lean into this podcast thing, and like my form of art is becoming what I'm saying versus what I'm drawing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could speak more honestly, you know. Like, I don't think that when I was pursuing like a more academic route, I was being 100% honest with myself. Like, it's not exactly who I am.
Yeah.
None of my personality comes out.
Yeah, and you just had a feeling that it was like not right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, intuition, I don't know what you would even call it. I agree that if you like follow that, you'll come to some sort of place of fulfillment.
Yeah.
At least, yeah, I feel like I've also been doing that, especially just the last 3 years. I get a feeling that like something isn't right. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I went to college for a year. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like, yeah, the classes were bad, but it was more just like a gut feeling. Yeah. So I got out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just it feels like I'm following like breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Like scattered through my life.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the reason I want to talk to people, like I meet people all the time who are like, you know, I got the impression that you had that sort of, I guess, way of going about your life, you know, and I don't know, I wish more people, actually I shouldn't say it that way, but I guess I meet people who want to live their lives more honestly, you know. Yeah. They want to feel more okay with following those impulses, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I don't follow it, I feel so. That's where I get really like unsatisfied with my life.
Yeah. Because
I've tried to ignore it a few times. It always ends up, I'll ignore it for a couple months, and then I'll be like, yeah, I end up following it anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. The alchemist, like, so, the way I like.
Hi.
Hello.
Come back.
Come back. Talk to us.
Come back.
So the guy that recommended The Alchemist to me, he's a guy I met in New York who, he's worth like $500 million or something. He's like a real like wealthy man.
Yeah.
He's talking about these $1 billion deals and doing all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know him through my dad, so it's not like I met him randomly, but
yeah,
he got dinner with me and he's like, you should read The Alchemist. Like, this book is about like what it's like to go and try and find your treasure. You know, he's like the guy at the end of the book who found his treasure. You know,
yeah.
It's like, oh, this poor kid. You know, this is how, you know, and I don't know. It's like, even talking to him, there's like fundamental truths about following your gut and trusting yourself and like taking risks that no matter where you are at on like the hypothetical finish line,
mm-hmm.
like it still applies to you, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's I'm having trouble like finding things to follow up on that because it feels like a fundamental truth of reality.
Yeah, that's know? Just how it'd be.
Yeah.
It'd just be like that. It was funny reading The Alchemist, especially when he was like, you know, like you see the signs when you're on the right path. I related to that a lot.
Yeah.
I like dropped out of college and then I worked at Lowe's, but I only worked at Lowe's because I had applied to like some actually like cool jobs like trail conservation in Colorado, and they were like calling me back, but I was like, I really feel like I need to work at Lowe's. Yeah. Like, who wants to fucking work at Lowe's? Like, I was like, I think I need to go do this. Yeah. And then the first day I went in there, the address for Lowe's was like 333 whatever, and that's my favorite number. I was like, I knew I was supposed to be here.
And some people might be like, that's fucking stupid, but I think it's like actually like, you know, and I think when you stop paying attention to the omens or whatever that you want to call it, they stop appearing to you because they're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, like I'm not even gonna try to fucking talk to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I did that, and then one day at Lowe's, I was like, I really need to quit. So I was like standing at the customer service desk. I like emailed them my 2 weeks while I was on the clock. I got home. I mean, like, my parents were pissed off at me. My mom was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But, like, it definitely was the right decision, because I stayed at Liz for, like, 3 months, and I quit. And this was, like, 2 weeks before Chroma Core.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll fucking send my application, whatever. And I got into that.
He actually, so he listens to this. He told me he listens to it occasionally.
Fuck, sorry.
So if you're listening to this.
Hello.
Okay.
I was in Chroma Core the first year. But anyways, there was a person I met in Chroma Core who introduced me. We happened to be from the same city. Just like, out of everyone that applied, 2 people who got in happened to be from Wichita, Kansas.
Who's that?
Nicole.
Okay.
Nikiti-san.
Okay. Hello, Nikiti-san.
Hello, if you're watching this. But that led me down to meet other people who have gone to Watts, and I found my roommate just because I quit college, got a job at Lowe's, quit at that time. Yeah. Like, I can track it back exactly how I'm, like, here right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like quitting college was, like, when I started, like, following my gut.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I can, like, track it back to there, to, like, where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Because, like, I went and had my roommate. I had researched Watts when I was in college, but I kind of forgot about it until I met these people who I wouldn't have met except if I was in that contest.
Right.
Because I dropped Lowe's. I'm, like...
I take partial credit for inspiring cynics to do Chroma Core.
Oh, what?
I asked him to do a Proco challenge, and then he's like, he started doing them after he did the Proco challenge.
Good, nice.
So.
It's fun to follow along with. It. I would say it changed my life just in the path it led me down.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm in California, going to Watts.
Doing a podcast.
Yeah, doing a podcast.
Yeah. I think it's... it's both something that you can't like you give yourself like incredible like you wouldn't undo any of those decisions at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh, this was like awesome for me. This is like, I was listening to the Omens. It was great.
Yeah.
You know, but you would never give somebody that advice, you know?
Yeah, because you sound like batshit
like
crazy.
Insane. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I want to talk to you. It's because I see somebody, like I meet people who are like batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And it's worked out. And I'm like, okay.
What the fuck's going on?
Anyone that's listening to this, don't listen to us.
No.
But...
I think you should listen to us.
Well,
I think you should listen to the numbers. The numbers are speaking to me.
Yeah, the Lowe's.
Yeah,
Lowe's was speaking to me.
The actual building itself. You need to quit right now.
Get out of here, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Well, don't hold me liable, but follow your dreams.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you should listen to it in the sense that you should listen to your gut. You should listen to your intuition.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know. I was talking to a friend about this. Like, I dropped out of college, and I think it was a great decision for me. And he dropped out too, and he was saying, but I wouldn't recommend somebody who's asking to drop out of college. You know, it's almost a decision that somebody has to make for themselves.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, you should do whatever you want unless somebody tells you to do it. Because, like, there's no exact route that is set out to, like, have your own version of success.
Yeah.
Like it's like a story as old as time, where it's like, somebody's like, okay, I'm going to become a doctor because doctors are rich and successful.
Mm-hmm.
And they, you know, give up their high school years and their college years and all of their 20s to become a doctor. They finally get there and they're like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
And
this
then you
sucks.
give up the rest of your life till you're like 60 working as a doctor.
Yeah, looking at people's balls.
Like, look at people's balls.
Yeah, squeezing them. It feels fine, sir.
I'm glad that's where your mind went first. That's the kind of doctor you want to be?
Yeah.
Just ball grabbing?
Ball grabbing, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, lumps.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you do the ball grabbing and you fucking hate your life, and then you're like, oh, but I get to retire now. I get to be old and crippled, but at least I can go on vacation while I'm old and crippled.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of people are waiting for that. Like, once I do this, then I can finally do what I really want to do. You know, and in The Alchemist, he meets people who are like, oh, once I've made this amount of money, then I can do what I want to do. Once I get to this level of art, then that's when I could start saying things. Once I do this, then I can finally do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, why not?
What's the fucking point, man? Because then you waste half your time doing stuff you don't want to do. When it's like the whole you're like existing. I swear to God, those things fucking hate me. Oh, it's coming back. Sorry. I fucking forgot what I was even saying. Oh yeah, you like waste all your time.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of existing is just to like exist.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, but it's not. It's meant to like you're meant to be excited and like do things and to be happy. You know.
Yeah, but you just be existing, so you might as well have a good time. Just in the it's in the like normal everyday moments that you spend most of your life.
Well,
not when you're like.
I guess I would say is like don't discount the emotions that you have of like I'm stuck and I can't change anything about that.
Yeah.
That's like if you start to be like, you know, oh I should just exist to the point. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted.
You should ask him to talk to us.
Yeah, I have my own versions of that right now. I have it set to like.
Okay, we're good. There's music playing.
Yeah. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Well, it's strange because I can know this stuff objectively and be like, oh yeah, of course, like, listen to the numbers, you know? Like, I saw a license plate that was like very much an omen to do something, and I was like, I'm still not doing it. And it's like, I can know this stuff, and it will still be scary to go and do it.
Oh, definitely. Everything's scary. Living is scary. Yeah, that's why you can practice doing scary things by taking like controlled risks that don't have much of a bad outcome.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least for me, like scary job interviews, like talking on a podcast. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like I'm so scared. I'm not scared anymore now that I'm here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just doing like small stuff to get you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then eventually you can take like, I'm gonna quit my job risks.
Yeah. I'm gonna quit my job.
Are you gonna quit your job?
At some point. I don't fucking care. I'll say it, but I'll tell Stan. Like, I'm gonna quit at some point.
I'm quitting today.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do after you quit? What was the omen you saw yesterday?
Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ruin it.
You're not gonna ruin it?
No.
Okay, it's a secret.
That's a secret.
Dude, I saw one. I keep talking about moving to Montana, and like a couple months ago, I drove behind this truck and it was like 333 whatever, and it was a Montana license plate. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
I think I need to move to Montana. That might have just been like, sometimes you have to be able to distinguish, like, am I just being like a crazy person, or does this actually feel like?
I think when you really want something, your brain starts to look for stuff.
Yeah.
And whether you want to call that random chance or just like, there's something somebody said where it's like, it's like a cliche quote of like, your destiny is going, like, you're gonna do things that move you towards your destiny, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just subconsciously, essentially, you know?
I feel like that's comforting.
Yeah.
Because then you don't really have to think about it. Hopefully you just, like, drift towards it.
Yeah. And again, that's my idea of, like, a faith in a God. It's like, if you just drift towards what you really want to do,
it'll happen.
It's gonna manifest itself in a way that's, like, you know, entirely positive and good for you. Yeah.
You just have to remove the blockages along the way.
Yeah. Stop being so constipated.
Yeah. And you can usually feel when, at least for me, I can tell when something's like out of alignment that I'm doing. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a while to like tune into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're all dumb. And we're all gonna die. And it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters. Floating rock hurtling through space. I could die tomorrow.
I could kill you right now.
He could fucking stab me.
I could kill you on this podcast.
Let's do it for the content.
For the content. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Do you want a tarot reading?
Oh, sure. Do you have tarot cards? Sick. Okay, sick.
Have you ever had a tarot reading?
No, I haven't.
This might be a failure. Maybe this will get cut.
No, I try not to cut anything.
Oh yeah, I'm a crystal bitch too. See, maybe you shouldn't take advice from this podcast.
Oh, it's you're aiming through meme.
What?
You're aiming through meme, right?
What?
It's from the fucking Alchemist. It's the stones.
Oh!
Yeah.
See, everything's connected.
Is it related?
No.
No,
I just brought those because I felt like it.
Really?
I'm being serious. I literally, when you said that, I forgot what the stones were called. Yeah. I was like, are you saying English words to me right now?
So in The Alchemist, there's a part where a king gives the main character 2 stones, and it's a white and black one.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't plan that. Yeah. I literally forgot what they were called.
It's like when you want to know what to do in your life, you ask the stones, like, what do I do? And I think white is yes and black is no.
This has me fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't plan that. Yeah. All right. I will say I know like the very vague meanings of these, so I might have to look them up on my phone.
And if anyone, I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but if anyone in the comments wants to comment on the tarot, or
interpret the tarot reading in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have a question?
No.
What are the secrets of life?
Am I on the right path?
Are you on the right path?
Yeah.
Like currently as you are?
Yes.
So this is like a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
And part of the thing is you have to ask an objective question, right?
I don't know. It can be a yes or no. Split it in half. Are you on the right path? What the fuck? That's too many. Okay, so this guy, the Fool.
Yes.
That's literally the first card in the entire deck.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of a journey.
Yeah.
Are you planning a big change?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's the right path.
Okay.
You're at the beginning.
Yes.
It's like going on new journeys. It's funny that card came out, starting a new path. Ace of Pentacles upright, it's like a new job offer and it's reversed. So maybe I'm not gonna look these up. So this might not be entirely accurate. I'm going off vibes.
Vibes.
You're taking a less money focused path.
Oh, I am.
I mean, it's like the pentacle is falling out of the hand. So you're like not caring about material things as much.
I'm for anyone I'm going part-time at Proco, so.
Oh yeah. You're starting a new journey. Yeah. This is definitely you're on the right path. Yeah. At least that card. This is like swords are like mental clarity and like thinking about stuff, communicating with people. I would say that's just in a yes or no sense. Yeah. Yes, you're on the right path.
Yeah. Okay.
Death is at the top. That's like big changes.
Okay.
Judgment at the bottom. Sometimes I take the bottom as like subconscious and the top is conscious. So you might be feeling judged. You might be judging other people. Yeah. This could be like a buried thought that you don't really like actively think about. Yeah. How do you feel?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, thank you.
Question?
No.
Any more questions?
No.
Only question? One question?
I don't have any questions.
Will the Sketchy Van podcast be worldwide famous?
Yes, 100%.
Last question.
Like and subscribe. Tarot card deck.
Oh, yes. Very worldwide famous and very fast.
Oh, yes.
In 1 week.
Joe Rogan podcast.
In 1 week, we will surpass Joe Rogan.
This is the Joe Rogan card.
Yeah. Give it 1 week. Give it 1 week. And this will be the most popular podcast on YouTube.
Okay, sick.
It's confirmed.
Thank you.
There's your omen.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Sick. Okay, well, how should people follow you?
I have an Instagram. It's at Makennu, Makennu, and that's about it.
Sick.
That's all I have.
Sick.
That's all I got.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll cut it there.
Goodbye.